All right. So, the more I look at the world and how it is unraveling, and by the way, it's unraveling. I always say, get involved locally, do something locally in your community. But I'm seeing an amazing resistance to like what parents want. For instance, here in the state of Florida, the governor said no masks for kids, no masks, and no mask mandate for the general population. And rather than having the local governments follow that, or, say we had a governor that didn't believe in this stuff, the local governments could set their own policy. And they're doing that. They're setting the opposite policy. They're becoming more dictatorial and more authoritarian than Ron DeSantis. Now, you may not like DeSantis. You may think he's just a mini Trump. But DeSantis, at least the perception is, outside of the mainstream media, which calls him, things like Death Santis, because he's not pro lockdown, he's not pro mask, he's not pro mandatory vaccination. So he's the worst person to ever live. And I'm thinking, hey, I like what he's saying. The new problem is what he's saying isn't trickling down to the people who are truly banking on what he's saying. So if he says or he decrees something, by the way, you need laws in place. You need actual laws. But now you have these loser authoritarian Democrats who are using the court system, which is no longer the people's court, okay? It's no longer the people's court. I'm not talking about the old TV show. The court is now basically a rubber stamp for authoritarians who want to get validation for their crazy, unconstitutional, edicts. And a lot of people right now are feeling like there's no hope. I've said this multiple times on this platform. We've got much larger fish to fry than worrying about little pet peeve issues, things that people were talking about in 2019 and 2020. Our world is upside down. I care mostly about the mandates that are going to restrict my freedom, my movement, my breathing, what I would like or would I not like to do with my own body. Those are the things that are most important to me. I'm also seeing the supermarket shelves emptying out and the supply chain getting weaker and weaker. I'm seeing inflation at record levels. Now, for you Trump fans, yeah, duh, I will take 2020 and 2019 over 2021. Although 2020 is a little sketchy because that's when we learned that we were all going to be little slaves to the WHO. All right. And this year we're still slaves. But the slavery has gone very local. So yeah, Trump better. Trump's still out there talking about, how he did this, how he's responsible for getting all of these wonderful injections out to people. And what it's done is it's destroyed relationships between people who have bought into the propaganda and people who are still doing critical thinking. It's destroyed those relationships. The media is very good. The CIA is very good at what they do. This comes down right from the Pentagon. What the news is doing is directly linked to the Pentagon, whether you want to call it Operation Mockingbird or come up with a new name, Operation Fauci Bird, whatever it is that you want to call it, we are in the midst of it. And Americans aren't pushing back hard enough because for 3 or 4 decades, America and Americans have been lulled into a very false sense of security. We become fat, lazy, complacent. It's not my job. Someone else will do it. Whereas in various European countries, there's some real uprising taking place. If that kind of stuff happened here in the US, I can almost bet that these people would start to get scared a little bit. The problem is they have all the firepower. They really do. They have all the firepower, meaning that if we start to revolt, this new military, which is being controlled by people that really are all about just, their own theory of what humanity should look like. There should be only a certain amount of people on the planet, and these people should only consume a certain amount of stuff, and they only need a certain amount of space, and they shouldn't drive a gas-powered vehicle, and we can go on and on and on. Folks, if we're not able to fight back, if we're not able to just regain a balance, it's like we've been pushed off balance and we're so ready to fall on our face. And we're in that mode where if we're on a balance beam, it would be like doing a header right onto the concrete pavement. And I don't see anything stopping it because we don't have the will. I mean, even I'm going to be honest with you, me doing a video doesn't matter. This does not matter. This is venting. This is therapy for me and maybe for a few other people. Because either you're in agreement or you're tuning in because you like what I'm saying or you want to waste 10 minutes of your day, whatever it is, it's not doing anything. None of this is doing anything. Sharing information with idiots is not doing anything because the idiots don't watch this. The idiots are watching ABC News and they're getting their local news like from this station where I live called Wink News, which is propaganda. It's all Fauci propaganda for 15, 20 minutes. And he knows everything. And, the CDC is a god. And if you don't worship what they say, and if you're not in the religion, then, hey, you know what? You may not make it. You may not make it. You're hesitant. Do what you're supposed to do. Gee, I'm looking for that insert where I can get my informed consent. Nope, it's not there. We don't have informed consent on anything, people. I've already done those videos. Here's, how I'm going to close this video. It's not going to be too long today because I don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. We vent, we talk, we say this needs to stop, and it keeps going. And then when you push back a little bit, the media pushes back harder on you. You have to get active, like really honestly active in your community. It's not enough to make a post somewhere. It's not enough to counter somebody's lie with a graph or chart or some information. Even if you get it directly from the CDC or the NIH, they go, oh, well, that's not what I've been hearing. Or the experts say. I love that one. The experts say. Go on to Twitter and see how many things on that right column that they do this Orwellian fact checking. Well, experts say that masks are safe and effective. Who are the experts? Where are the studies? And are there any other opinions on this? Or do we just have to listen to the one opinion? This has been happening now for 18 months, folks, and we're not pushing back hard enough. The truth is on our side, but we're not sharing it. We're not being animated about it. And maybe you think you are. Maybe I think I am. Whatever we're doing, it's not working. It's not enough. And until it starts to work and until it starts to be enough, things aren't going to get any better. They're going to get worse. I don't know how much worse they can get, but they're going to get worse. Wait till the fall. Wait till October and November. And you talk about a dark winter. It's coming.